And thank you all for joining. We have started this platform to allow vendors to answer any questions and display the capabilities and different functions of their alerting software. If you have any questions at the end of the demonstration, you can place them in the chat box, in the Q&A box, and the questions will be answered in the answers that they are received. If you would like to request copies of this webinar, they can be requested at justin.singer@fema.dhs.gov with the subject line as webinar presentation request. And I'm going to read our disclaimer here. The Integrated Public Alerting and Warning System, IPAWS, vendor demonstrations are intended to increase state and local emergency management agencies' awareness of vendor products and IPAWS capabilities. The webinar provides an overview of the interoperability of these systems with IPAWS open and will include vendor presentations of their products. FEMA's IPAWS Program Management Office encourages and facilitates this discussion of products and tools, but it does not endorse any specific vendor's product. This webinar is for educational purposes only. In today's demonstration, we will have Blackboard Connect presented by Marcus Depew and Kadir Zaruk. Any vendor-specific questions that are not answered throughout the demonstration can be asked at these email addresses listed below. And Marcus, I'll go ahead and make you the presenter.
Okay, great. Thank you. And just go ahead and let me know when you can see my screen.
Yep, I can see it.
Perfect. All right, my name is Marcus Depew. I work here at Blackboard, and I'll be kind of going over the IPAWS integration with our Blackboard Connect platform. And I'm also joined by my colleague, Kadir Zaruk. And Kadir is going to kind of kick us off here and tell you a little bit about the Blackboard Connect platform itself.
Thank you, Marcus. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the call this morning or afternoon, wherever you're joining us. Again, my name is Kadir Zaruk, part of the Connect team here at Blackboard. So we're just going to kick off the presentation today, just a quick overview of the home page. So further or less, welcome to Blackboard Connect, ladies and gentlemen. Blackboard Connect is hosted on AWS with 99.99 network availability. Being a software as a service product, it's kind of future-proof, gives you all the updates that we do quarterly under the announcements section. We do have support that's available 24/7, 365 as well. We have the follow the sun concept, so anytime you need live support, we do have that. We definitely have this live safe, activate safe mode button to get yourself acclimated with the tool, especially if you're walking around the solution and teaching your colleagues how to utilize it. This is a quick home page where you can see your recent stats and your recent activity for the month of August. And on the column right here on the favorite templates, you have all your emergency templates that are available for messaging. But Blackboard Collaborate is not only an EMS tool, it is a message tool that can be used across the business unit. If it's a local government, the main local government can procure for emergency, but you can have different stakeholders leverage this tool by leveraging our different message types. So we have emergency message, outreach message, and phone survey. We do have different message paths for emergency and outreach. Emergency gets network priority on our end, on the carrier's end. It bypasses any opt-out clauses as well, and it notifies multiple contacts. Each recipient in the Connect system can support up to 10 different phone numbers, 4 different email addresses, and multiple address fields per recipient. So, we do have one charge per recipient, but multiple contact points can be supported. So, definitely the advantage when you send an emergency message. All those contact points would be notified immediately. Outreach messages as well, we just have regular messaging campaigns there. And then you have phone survey. You can do up to 10 different questions, 5 different answer options for phone survey. And then I really wanted to showcase our key differentiators as well as multiple sites and levels that you can have within the Connect system. So right now for this system, we have 3 different sites, 3 different levels. On each level, there are multiple sites. We always recommend our our clients to have level 1, site 1 as just for emergency traffic. So all your key emergency traffic is sent under level 1 under that first site. Then spin up this level 2 and level 3s for the sub groups, maybe different departments that want to have a stakeholder to send IT outage messages, HR communications, or just facility notifications, or even IT use cases as well. And level 3 you can spin up. You can have unlimited amount of levels and unlimited amount of sites. Each site underneath each level is branded and customized for that business unit. So they'll have their own custom portal. They can have their own logins as well, admins attached to that site, and they can create their own custom templates and message groups as well. So theoretically, you procure one Connect tool for your emergency needs, but you can really diversify this asset across your entire portfolio for your city, your company, and each stakeholder can have a utilization within the tool and leverage the tool to enhance or make much easier communication protocols. All right, I think that we covered a lot there, Marcus. I will pass it on to you for the IPAWS.
Thanks, Kadir. Yeah, so what I'll be covering is using Connect with our IPAWS integration. And the first step in doing that is getting your certificates uploaded into the platform. And that's going to be done over here in the admin section. So when I click on admin, I'm going to see on the lower left-hand column here where it says IPAWS. And then we're going to work from right to left on these tabs at the very top. So the first thing that will happen is and you'll get an email that has two different emails, one that has the actual certificates, the other has that are password protected, and the other has the actual password for those certificates. And then this is where you'll come in and you'll upload those certificates. What those certificates will allow you to do is you'll get one that is a certificate for just testing purposes. And that'll be the certificate that we'll be using today. Is just a testing certificate. And then the other would be your actual live broadcasting certificate. So it'll come into play a little later, and I'll show you where you can pick between those two. Next is going to be your broadcast areas. So these broadcast areas are going to allow you to broadcast to certain areas. For example, we're set up here at Charles County, Maryland, for our is our FIPS code for our demo purposes today. And then you can tab over to your actual IPAWS users. So you have two different types of users that can activate to be able to send. So you have a sending agent, and then you also can have an agent that has administrative rights to hand out and distribute account access. So once that's all set up, you're ready to go in and start to send out that message. So when I come up to the message center, you're going to see down at the very bottom, we have an IPAWS section now. It's going to bring you to our alert history. This alert history is going to show you past messages that you've sent out. And then you could see additional information as far as the type of message, and you'll be able to take a look at this more here in a little bit. You also have a tab for received alerts. So being an IPAWS user, you have the ability to communicate with other COGs or other users. So for an example, let's say you're in a neighboring county, you need to get a message out because there's something that's going on that you're going to be sending an alert out for. You can actually send a message over to that additional COG if you would like to kind of let them know as well. But I'm going to go ahead and click on Create Alert. And this is where it's going to bring us to the first step. The first step is picking what type of alert. So we have private, public, WIA, EAS, and NIMWIM. Now, if you hover over the little blue eye, it'll kind of walk you through what each of these is going to do. What we're going to focus on today would be the WIA, EAS, NIMWIM section. So wireless emergency alert for WIA, and then for EAS, that's going to be emergency alert system, and NIMWIM would be anything weather related. So think of this as cell phone, TV, radio, and any weather alerts. So next step would be selecting what certificate you're going to use to send this this broadcast. So again, I'm going to use a test certificate, but you would normally see a test certificate and then your live certificate there as well. Then you have the actual sender that you're using, the sender name, And here is where we select kind of where it's going or who it's going to. So those sending an alert to an additional cog. This is what would happen if I wanted to send that to kind of that other county that I mentioned earlier. You would select those additional cogs or locations that you want this message to go to, or the selected area. So this is where kind of that FIPS code came into play when we were going and looking at those certificates. So I'm going to go ahead and select Charles County, Maryland. And then there is a third option using a selected map area. So let me pull this up and kind of show you what this looks like. So I have a little tool over here on the right-hand side that has kind of 6 different ways you can mark your map. The first way is going to be clicking and drawing a polygon, right? So as you can see, I selected that that polygon right there in that region. So it's going to send to things inside of that region. Also, we have the freehand tool that allows you to draw freehand. And then the third would be the radius. So I can click there, and then that's going to allow me to expand your radius depending on kind of what measurement you want to use. In this case, I'm going to use miles. And so then you're able to send that out in a 3-mile radius. So that mapping feature is definitely something that is available as well. So those are the 3 different ways that you're able to get kind of who you want to send this message to. The next step is going to be defining kind of the type of message, which is really something that's pretty simple to do. You'd come down and each category is going to have a different drop down. So for the WIA handling, I'm going to go ahead and make this an Amber Alert. And then we'll make this, and you're going to see the list of kind of use cases here. We'll do child abduction emergency in this case. And then you have the category, or kind of what you're going to use for that specific category. We're going to use safety, general emergency, public safety. And then what type of response that you're kind of putting out there. So prepare, make preparations. And I'm going to go ahead and put this duration at 15 minutes. And then I'm going to leave these down here the same. But you're going to see here immediate, expected, past, future, urgency levels, severity levels, and certainties. So we have different drop downs for each of those. So now we've defined what type of message. We go in and click this customize the content of the alert. And this is where you're going to go in and actually build out the what the message is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and just replace all of these here with this is just a test message, again, because we are sending out just a test message. But each of these is going to have different categories or different messaging for each of those options. We're just doing the WIA and the EAS alerts. So now once I have that defined, when I click on next, you're going to see here we are using my test certificate. You're going to see that orange box that says test mode. And here I have the ability to go back and review everything that I just kind of went through and prepared. So this is a good place to take a step back and really evaluate, all right, is this what I need? Is this what I'm looking for? Do I have this all defined correctly? And if so, you then click send, or if not, you click edit alert. So I'm going to go ahead and click the send button, and that's going to send that test message out. Takes about a minute or so here, and we are away and going. So you're going to see here, we do have the ability to force expiration. So I set this for 15 minutes. Let's say 5 minutes goes by, the threat's no longer there. We can force that expiration. We can update the alert. We can also reuse the alert. But that's really the steps as far as sending that notification. Now I think we're going to take a look at kind of on the FEMA's end and show they're going to take control back and show you that that message has come through and that they can verify that that message has been sent.
Yes, Marcus, thank you. I'm pass the presenter rights over to my colleague, Lindsay Lewis, and she's going to share her screen and just show that the message was successful to the lab.
Perfect.
And there is that top message there is the one that you just sent. And if we click on that, we can see that we should have all green checks. For WIA and EAS. And if she scrolls down, because you did send a NWIM, and there's a red check there, which it should have been green. That something might have went wrong with our NWIM message, but it
I
was
didn't
successfully
I didn't end up sending the NIMWIM.
Oh, you didn't select the NWIM. I'm sorry. Okay, great. All right.
Yeah. So just kind of, I guess right now we'll open it up and take some questions, some Q&A, kind of on the process as a whole.
All right. I'll take the printed arrays back. And if there's no questions in the chat box here, which I'm not seeing anything, I just wanted to show this slide again with Marcus's and Kadir's information here. So if anyone has any other questions after this, or any questions after the ending of this presentation, you can forward them to their email addresses listed there. And if there's nothing else, Marcus and Kadir, thank you for presenting for our alerting and origination software presentations. And I'll stop the recording now.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.